Oh,
No.
Hayden.
What's up, David?
Look over that hill.
Oh, well, we have to fight it, so.
He just spawned 2 more enemies in. 3. 4. 5, 6. He spawned a fuck ton
Oh
of
my
enemies.
god.
I'm dead.
I'm dead too.
Generation Zero is the kind of game that looks great from the outside. 80s Sweden occupied by militant robots. Who doesn't love that idea? What could go wrong? Why does it feel familiar? I remember seeing videos when Generation Zero was in its infancy, thinking, wow, that looks cool. Then I forgot about it. Saw that it released, and then forgot about it again. Me and my trusty sidekick Hayden managed to reach a whopping 10 hours.
This page is NSFL, not safe for liberals.
But Hayden wasn't having it.
You don't wanna do that?
Nah.
You really aren't having it, are you?
I'm really not.
I'm kind
I
of
would've-
right there with you.
So I had to carry on alone.
There's got to be something we're just missing.
I tried to like Generation Zero. I really did. This is less of a review and more of a criticism of a game I think could be great if it wasn't how it is now. It had some fun moments, but overall, it's limp, soft serve, and raw.
Oh, bro, there's a town right here.
Generation Zero is filled with great ideas that fall flat in nearly every aspect. It excels at combat in an atmospheric world, but even those start to feel mediocre.
So what'd you say the story was? I'm actually kind of interested now.
Okay, after World War II, you know how Sweden's like super neutral and shit?
Yeah.
They were tired of being neutral and like they wanted to just have like a super secure like military.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that way they could like never be attacked. And so they just spent all their money on their military budget.
Damn. And
so
that's why we
they
got
did
robots.
They did that for 40 years, and then this is what we get.
The world isn't that bad. The starting island was a good introduction, and the entire reason Hayden and I played as long as we did. There are a few regions, each with their own setting. I've never been to Sweden, so I can't attest to how close it is to reality. But Avalanche Studios Group Systemic Reactions, a Swedish studio, developed the game. So I'd assume it's close enough. Very Swedish. I'm not a graphics chud, so pretty looks aren't an immediate concern. The visuals are alright. The people look like sex dolls, but the lighting's good. Gold star for the Swedes. There is another Swede I thought of while playing. One that actually specializes in retro Robo-Earth. But surely there's no correlation or influence. Right?
According to Avalanche, no. They waited long enough to comment about any influence Simon Stalanog may have had, that by the time they did, people had already made up their minds. I did have the thought.
So I nitpicked a piece from Simon, cut out the robot because really, that's all that matters, slapped it onto a piece from Generation Zero, played with the colors a bit, and yeah, that's a robot in a robot game. After playing Generation Zero, there's no comparison. I think Simon has a very special style and wonders to his work. Generation Zero has a very basic design and general appeal, which isn't bad. Why else would there be an 80s aesthetic game in the decade of nostalgia? It's what's popular. It's disappointing because the concept art had some nice pieces. My issue isn't with the world design, it's with the scale. Generation Zero has an absolutely massive, empty map. I don't know when the bigger world is better world design became so common, but it's terrible. I hate it. I think the starting island was so convincing because there was enough ground to cover. It was spread enough to not be a massive trek, but also wasn't overpacked with trash.
I just got like a fucking like Dark Souls bonfire, bro, and there's a gun in it.
Oh shit, bro.
After Hayden and I made it to the main island, my expectations went from
Huge.
Oh, there is a
wait,
big
what the
map.
fuck?
to,
Dude, I might have to just call it here. This shit is just,
I don't think it would be a massive issue if there are better ways to get around besides running and fast traveling. Like a vehicle. A vehicle would be cool. These motherfuckers placed a vehicle station in the game for bicycles. I've never felt so debated in my life. Hayden and I spent hours writing these slow pieces of shit with the assumption that, at some point, we would find a working car, and maybe we'd find something with actual armor and weapons to fight the robot hordes. Wrong. Bicycles are the only vehicle in the entire game. We know we didn't have to ride them. It was just good fun at first.
Make a bad day go worse if I can't go out to the pond and cast a lure.
Throw a lure in the water.
Bicycles are absolutely worthless. They're slow as hell, they'll try to kill you.
Alright, now hop on.
Ooh. They were a novelty in the beginning, but completely useless when I wanted to go over a 20-degree angle and beeline every mission.
Oh yeah, I'll meet you there in a second. Let me just go around real quick. I can't make this hill.
Missions in the game unfold by finding a memento, be it a note, a voicemail, or a map, and then running to where that memento leads you, and then you do it again and again. Absolutely engaging and inspiring, I know. I didn't care about the story or lore of Generation Zero. I just wanted to shoot at the robots for a while. There are things to break the monotony. Something that could maybe improve the world dynamics. Across the island, F&IX outposts are beginning to appear. Their purpose is unknown, and they never will be. They're part of the F&IX Rising DLC, which I don't have. I have the opinion that story in a game should come after gameplay. If it's not fun, why bother? Any size world gets boring if there's nothing to do in it. That's why the gameplay is the real Generation Zero killer. I'm not exactly sure what to call Generation Zero. It seems like it wants to be a looter shooter, but there isn't much looter worth shooting for.
How did you get so many fucking hats? I've only got 2. My hair and this hat.
It's tagged on Steam as a survival game, but the only survival necessity is ammo and first aid meals. Yes, I mean meals. You do not bandage your wounds, you eat these. It's also tagged as a horror game, so maybe Steam tags aren't the way to go. What I can say is that Generation Zero has the traits of a sandbox shooter with RPG-like elements. There are 4 classes, 2 branches apiece, with specializations at the bottom of each branch. You can only use 1 specialization at a time. Some seem cool. I don't know, I never made it that far. Combat is where the game shines. Hayden and I are not baby gamers. We put the game on the highest difficulty. Every scenario was consistently dangerous. During the early game, me and Hayden had little ammo and little aid. We were still learning the enemy's weak spots, attacks, and movements. Then there came a point where most fights became tedious. Generation Zero really liked to advertise the idea that players' main chance of survival was through guerrilla tactics. Ambushing, traps, hit-and-run tactics, stealth. Retreat is a valid option.
Should things go south, fleeing is a valid tactic.
The problem with this is that it doesn't work most of the time. I had a massive collection of gas canisters gathering dust because I could never cluster enough enemies close enough to make them worthwhile. They would accidentally stun themselves more than I ever did. Stealth is a mixed bag. It works half of the time, most of the time. If you're anything above crouched, you can be heard from enemies a block away. Any movement above prone will get you spotted from minimal line of sight. The only valid tactic in the game is to circle strafe enemies. Circle strafe, cover, eat, repeat. Retreat is never an option. It's easier to let yourself die than to run. I know because I tested it. I traveled to the airfield, got into a fight with an Apocalypse-class harvester and his buddies. A fight I could absolutely not win. Ran out of the airfield, across miles of fields and forest, where the enemies still managed to find me.
There's no way.
Okay, well,
Retreat is not an option. Retreat is near futile. That's what you'll get from Guerrilla Mode. Ironically, Guerrilla Mode seems to make guerrilla tactics nearly useless. Like all higher difficulties, all it does is make enemies hit harder, shoot better, see further, and take more damage. I experimented with the other 2 difficulties. Adventure Mode is baby journalist's first game. It's a waste of time. Skirmish was the only difficulty at release, and it's alright. I think it makes the game bearable longer, but overall it comes down to preference. It doesn't change base enemy spawns, so fights can still be a chore by mid-game, even on Adventure Mode.
Is anyone there? Could you come over here? Hello? Don't shoot! Hey! Who's there? Target.
Really, the only reason to play Guerrilla Mode, besides masochism, is for rivals. Every region has a level, based on how much you disturb the local mechasphere. Cause enough chaos, and you'll be fighting more and deadlier robots. The only way to lower a region's level is by defeating rivals. They don't have any special attacks or classes or appearances. Rivals are basically glamorized enemies with one purpose: special loot. I wouldn't know, I never found anything worthwhile on them.
Shit.
Oh, what do you got on them? Oh shit, plastic and ammo. That's
Got an experimental jacket.
Rivals are apparently loot pinatas, depending on their level, and how much damage has been done to their systems. Enemies have weak spots and hard points depending on their armaments. You'll know you've hit them if you see blue sparks. Rivals drop better loot depending on their level. Since difficulty doesn't affect loot, I have designed a meta system for maximum gains. First, play the game on Gorilla Mode to spawn and level as many rivals as possible. Second, change the difficulty back to Adventure Mode and smack the rival to death for advanced loot. Like this extremely rare jacket that I got twice in a row from 2 max level rivals. Loot in Generation 0 is extremely underwhelming. I was excited to find my first rifle. I was less excited when I found it the next 100 times. There are a few late game guns that are just powerful reskins of other guns. Majority of the variety comes in the outfits. I can't really complain, that's just how games like this play. Most loot I pick up is ammo and resources. There is crafting in Generation 0. It sucks.
all they are is cosmetic though. Like, I mean, they got a boost. Mine is plus 1% bullet resistance. So if every piece has plus 1% bullet resistance, I'd have like 7 bullet resistance.
It's only useful if you can find all the schematics. After 24 hours of playtime, I found 1 ammo, 1 equipment, and a few outfit schematics. Some I can't use. Most low tier schematics can be found around the map, but high tier schematics are rare loot. I think this makes clothing upgrades an unnecessary nuisance. You can't craft a tier 4 jacket upgrade without all prior tiers, so until I stumble on all the missing schematics littered around the map, that actual, useful upgrade will sit there, taunting me. Another odd decision they made was that every individual clothing variant needs to be individually upgraded. I don't get it. Why? Why not just do what they did with weapons? Give me a drop-down menu that shows available clothing variants and any upgrades I've crafted for the set. Why make it harder than it needs to be? There are so many odd design choices. It feels like the kind of game that wants to be a jack of all trades, even if that means every aspect ends up feeling mediocre or unfinished.
I'm tired as fuck, so...
Yeah, we don't have to fucking play this anymore.
There are a lot of good ideas that makes Generation 0 sound great on paper, but the poor, limited implementation of these ideas ruins them. I wanted to beat the game before talking about it, but the last time I played, I kind of accepted that even if I stopped now, I don't think I'd be missing much. I never talked about Melee. Why? Because it's underworked trash. Now, with the upcoming Resistance update, they're adding in base building. Cool. Will it be finished when it comes out, or finished?
Since the update's out now, I can actually answer that. It's really all it is a simple base building mode. There's wave-based hordes you can fight. It's nothing special. It's definitely nothing that would make me want to come back to the game. It's just another feature that they threw in. And it probably feels just as underworked as every other feature they just threw in.
The whole game feels like an early access title that keeps adding new features without fixing old ones. It's alright fun with the group, but I don't think it's worth the $25 they expect. I paid $20 for 2 copies, which is a much better price. If you just want to kill Swedish Build-A-Bots with friends, there's no better game than Generation 0.
There's fucking stairs, David.
The fuck is that? What are you, a moron or something?
You a dumbass, huh? You stupid fucking idiot.
If you don't have any friends, take a shower.
We gotta, Oh no.
Investigate.
Oh no.
Did you get stuck?
Nah, we're good.
So you did get stuck.
Oh, I got out. Hey, more lamps spawned in.
Oh. Keep doing it.